Okay, let's unpack this. Think about how you get around day to day. Chances are you're picturing a car, right? And yeah, they've gotten sleeker, faster, definitely smarter.
Sure.
But the basic way they move us, a box on four wheels, hasn't really changed that much since horse-drawn carriages, fundamentally.
It's kind of surprising when you put it like that.
What's truly surprising, though, is how much energy our current personal transport wastes. I mean, we're hauling around thousands of pounds of metal and plastic.
Right.
Just to move ourselves.
Yeah.
And we weigh, comparatively so little.
Exactly. Even modern EVs, with all their tech, they still have that issue with the heavy batteries.
Yeah, the weight penalty.
It's astonishing, really. We're just so used to this model that the sheer inefficiency often slips by unnoticed. But all that energy just moving the vehicle itself, not the person inside, that's a huge area crying out for innovation.
Exactly. And that brings us to something really different. A truly radical departure. The N5Digital car of the future. Forget spinning tires on asphalt. This concept is all about being super lightweight, intelligent systems moving beyond roads.
Beyond roads. Wow.
And the potential for game-changing energy efficiency.
Yeah.
Seriously, we're talking about a real peek into a very, very different future for getting around.
This vision, it really challenges some fundamental ideas, doesn't it? About how we get from A to B.
Totally.
It sort of steps back and asks, does personal travel have to mean rolling on wheels?
Right. And the mind behind this is Dr. Lev Neymotin. He's the CEO of N5Digital, Inc.
Okay.
And his background is seriously impressive. It kind of hints at the fresh perspective he's bringing. We're talking PhD in mechanical engineering, experience at Brookhaven National Lab working on nuclear safety and non-proliferation.
Wow. Okay. Quite a shift.
And even earlier, a career in thermonuclear power engineering back in Russia. That's quite a range of expertise.
That kind of diverse background, yeah, that's often where really novel ideas come from, seeing problems through different lenses, Experiences from seemingly unrelated fields can spark breakthroughs others might miss.
Now, the idea of personal transport that looks nothing like a car might sound a bit, sci-fi.
A little bit, yeah.
But believe it or not, the seeds for ideas like this have been around for ages. Think back to 1897, H.G. Wells, The War of the Worlds.
Oh, right, the tripods.
Exactly. He imagined these Martian invaders in massive three-legged machines, described them as monstrous tripods, higher than many houses, a walking engine of glittering metal.
Yeah, terrifying but mobile.
And they weren't just static. They could walk across all sorts of landscapes.
It makes you wonder why that image, walking machines, resonated so strongly even back then. Maybe it tapped into some kind of subconscious awareness of the limits of wheels?
Could be. Especially on rough terrain.
Rolls' tripods, yeah, they were fictional, pretty menacing.
Yeah, definitely menacing.
But they offered this vision of movement totally unbound by roads.
It's wild. And there's even, get this, a 23-foot stainless steel sculpture of one in Woking, England, put up in 1998 as a tribute to Wells's vision.
Huh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
So, drawing a bit of inspiration from that, that surprising early glimpse of different mobility, our mission today is to really dive deep into this N5Digital car of the future.
Okay, let's do it.
We want to understand the core concept, the design principles that let it, walk, not just roll.
Right.
And the incredible potential it holds for a massive leap in energy efficiency for how we get around.
So we're tracing this line from classic sci-fi to a real technological vision. Yeah. It really shows how these fundamental ideas about mobility and efficiency can, spark the imagination and then actually drive real-world innovation.
Okay, so let's bridge that gap from those fictional Martian walkers to the N5Digital car concept. The core inspirations are definitely there. Mobility, efficiency, handling tough terrain.
But hopefully less hostile.
Hopefully. Definitely without the destroying humanity part. The key features are really groundbreaking. We're talking a vehicle that walks, not rolls.
That's the big one.
Super lightweight structure. All electric. Uses AI for navigation.
Okay, smarts are built in.
And here's the kicker, doesn't need roads.
No roads needed. Wow, imagine the possibilities there.
Right. That shift from rolling to walking,
yeah,
it's so fundamental. It's not just tweaking the design.
No, it's a complete rethink.
It's totally rethinking how the vehicle interacts with the world around it. By ditching wheels, you just open up completely new ways to move.
And new efficiencies, presumably.
Absolutely. So how does it actually work? Well, forget axles, forget tires.
Okay.
The N5Digital car uses 3 telescopic legs. They're controlled by some pretty sophisticated software.
telescopic so they can extend and retract.
Exactly. And they're even looking at a two-legged version, apparently.
Interesting. Bipedal.
And to keep the ride smooth and stable for the passenger inside, there's a gyroscopic stabilization system. Think like how a spinning top stays upright.
Okay. Using that rotational inertia for balance.
Precisely. That rotating mass helps keep everything level.
And the beauty of telescopic legs is that adaptability, right? They can adjust to uneven ground, maybe step over things.
Yeah, obstacles that would just stop a wheeled car cold.
And that gyro stabilization is key for passenger comfort. It has to actively counteract the leg movements to keep the cabin smooth.
And speaking of the passenger, they're in a compact cabin right on top of this leg platform.
Okay.
What's really clever is how the design keeps the center of gravity constant, even while the legs are doing their thing.
That's crucial.
So you get a surprisingly smooth ride, even if you're crossing, really uneven ground.
Yeah.
Goodbye potholes. Or goodbye roads altogether.
That focus on a constant center of gravity, that's smart engineering. It tackles that potential worry people might have being jostled around in a walking machine.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
By managing the cabin stability, they're focusing on making it practical, comfortable.
But it gets even more futuristic. Because it walks, it just completely bypasses the need for roads.
Right.
You can literally step, maybe even do small jumps over obstacles. Park pretty much anywhere.
Okay, parking just got easier.
And to manage all this movement without lanes and traffic lights, the concept includes AI coordinating the vehicles.
Vehicle-to-vehicle communication.
Exactly. Making sure everyone moves safely, efficiently. It's like this whole new level of smart, free-flowing movement.
That AI coordination piece is essential, though, isn't it, for making roadless travel actually work safely?
Absolutely critical.
You'd need advanced sensors, constant communication. Otherwise, it could be chaos.
Definitely. Now, this might still sound a bit like, something from a movie.
Feel a bit out there, yeah.
But here's where it gets really exciting. We're actually seeing the building blocks for this tech already. Think about humanoid robots, like Tesla's Optimus.
Right. The walking robots.
The fact that we're developing robots that can walk, balance, navigate tricky environments.
Nice.
It shows the core tech for a walking vehicle is fast becoming a near-future reality.
That's a good point.
It makes this N5Digital concept feel much more tangible, within reach.
Yeah, those advances in robotics-legged locomotion, dynamic balancing, real-time control, they're kind of a proof of concept for this vision.
Exactly.
It shows the basic engineering challenges are being tackled and overcome.
Okay, so we've got a car that walks.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
But the truly revolutionary part here, the game changer, is the potential for massive energy efficiency gains.
Okay, let's get into that.
The N5Digital team did a really thorough analysis, breaking down all the ways a traditional car wastes energy. They looked at everything. Energy for acceleration, braking, fighting air resistance.
Air friction, yeah.
Internal friction in the engine and drivetrain, tire road friction, going uphill, even energy loss just making turns.
That detailed breakdown shows a rigorous approach. Yep. By pinpointing where the energy goes in normal cars,
right,
they can then design their alternatives specifically to cut down those losses.
And to really show this, they put together 2 case studies. Really fascinating comparison.
Okay.
Case 1. A typical car, say for 2025. Medium weight gasoline car, maybe 3,250 pounds.
Standard sedan size, roughly?
Yeah. Carrying one passenger, 170 pounds.
Yeah.
And the average power needed to just operate is around 22 kilowatts.
22 kilowatts. Just for context,
that's
totally. Quite a bit. Like you said, maybe what an average house uses during peak times.
Exactly. It gives us a solid baseline. A clear picture of the energy demand of a standard car soon.
Essential for comparison, yeah.
Then, case 2. The N5Digital car of the future. Super lightweight electric walker, weighs just 200 pounds.
200 pounds versus over 3,000. That's, wow.
Huge difference, right? Again, carrying that same 170-pound passenger, its aerodynamic profile is much smaller, cross-section about 20 square feet.
Okay, smaller target for air resistance.
And the power it needs to get similar performance to that regular car.
Okay, what's the number?
A mere 2.37 kilowatts.
2.37, down from 22.
Down from 22. Just think about that weight difference alone. That's the massive aha moment right there. It hints at the incredible efficiency gains.
That dramatic weight reduction, yeah, that has to be the biggest factor. Like we said at the start, normal cars use so much energy just moving their own heavy bodies. Slash the vehicle's weight like that, and the energy needed just plummets.
And when you look at the power use breakdown for each of those energy loss areas, the comparison is just eye-opening.
Okay, like what?
Okay, take internal friction. The regular car uses around 6.16 kilowatts, just overcoming that. The N5Digital car, only 0.63 kilowatts.
Big drop. Probably no complex engine, no traditional drivetrain helps there.
Must be. Air friction. 4.84 kilowatts for the car, just 0.79 kilowatts for the walker, likely due to its smaller size, more streamlined shape.
It makes sense.
Even in areas like acceleration and braking, where you might think walking could be less efficient, the N5Digital car shows big savings. Probably because it's so light, needs less energy to get going and less to stop.
It's interesting how the relative importance of each loss shifts too. Air friction might be a bigger percentage of the N5Digital's small total energy use. But the absolute energy loss to air is still way, way lower because it's just smaller and lighter.
Exactly. And that lack of a complex engine and drivetrain, like you said, that clearly accounts for that huge drop in internal friction losses.
Yeah.
They even visualize this. There's an energy loss comparison chart.
Yeah.
And it really tells the story visually.
Yeah.
It shows this near 90% reduction in total power needed, going from 22 kilowatts down to just 2.37.
That's an energy saving of what, about 19.6 kilowatts?
Roughly 19.63 kilowatts.
Right.
Yeah. It's almost hard to grasp how big that difference is.
Yeah.
Nearly 90% less energy used.
That potential for nearly 90% reduction, that's transformative. It has huge implications for sustainable transport, our energy use, maybe even how our cities are designed.
For sure. So just to really drive this home, the N5Digital car of the future isn't just, a minor tweak.
No, definitely not incremental.
It's a fundamental rethink. Lightweight, intelligent, roadless, and ultra-efficient. It really feels like we're seeing imagination nudge closer to reality here, offering this thrilling glimpse into a vastly different future for how we might get around personally.
Yeah, this concept really encourages us to look beyond just small improvements and think about truly disruptive change.
Totally.
The potential benefits, especially that energy efficiency and maybe needing less road infrastructure, they're really substantial. It offers a pretty compelling vision for the future.
And it really sparks the imagination, doesn't it? I mean, imagine the wider implications. A world where vehicles walk, where traditional roads might become less necessary, obsolete in places.
How would our cities change, our landscapes?
Exactly. How would urban spaces and even natural environments transform? Could this kind of radical shift in transport be a key to unlocking, more sustainable, more efficient ways of life for the future?
It's definitely a profound thought to chew on, a world potentially reshaped by how we move.